Sydney's video. Woke Hollywood continues to bend the knees. No! Wokeness again? Let's see.
Why is it always like this?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by PDS Debt. And of course, happy Valentine's Day to all of you on my side of the planet, and happy late Valentine's Day to those of you on the other side of the planet. I hope you all felt a little love, platonic or otherwise. And if not, just know that I love you, because love makes the world go round, or so I'm told. Now, as basically all of you know at this point, Hollywood has been progressing down this absolutely bizarre path of turning anything and everything into a remake, even if no one asked for it. And they'll still call something live action, even if the new film is 90% CGI. Because why not? I guess. Now, for very obvious reasons, people have been talking a lot about the new Snow White film that's set to be in theaters sometime in March. Let me remind you all.
Oh, the Snow White film. Oh, here we go.
This is the same film that has decided that Snow White's name is because she was born in the snow and not because she has skin that's white as snow like the original. So
yeah, I've seen that video. You talk about that before.
My father named me Snow White.
I love to hate this timeline. But this time I thought that we could take a look at yet another remake that's set to be in theaters sometime in June that has interestingly flown a little bit under the radar, despite the fact that it's doing just as many egregious things as all the other remakes we've come to know and love. I also recently happened upon some news concerning this specific film that really irritated me. And because it's Valentine's Day, I would be selfish if I didn't irritate you too. Now, some of you might remember that back—
I was gonna say, yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. Live action movie in the works. Is there any news about this movie's work, I wonder?
In early 2023, it was announced that the animated 2010 film, How to Train Your Dragon, was set for a live-action remake. And for a lot of people, this was actually good news, or neutral news at least, given that the original film has a bit of a cult following, so to speak, and was really well received upon its original release. I am aware, and I know this is a film made for children, but if I'm being honest, I think it's adorable, and I
love the movie. I watched every one of them, yeah. I think it's good though.
Actually happened to rewatch. I have hiccups, so trying to film right now is impossible. Oh my god.
It's still one of my favorite movies.
More like this for an hour.
Story.
And I happened to rewatch it the other night. And also, you know, hello.
I heard about— oh, that's the dad, right? The dad, yeah, the man, like very manly dad. I heard about this. Apparently they race swap some of the characters. What? Again? Damn, let's go, Hollywood. I see. Why would they do this? I don't get it. I'm just gonna say the truth. She's blonde and blue eyes. Why? Imagine Asian face, Asian black eye, black hair. And then just race swap. Isn't that bad too? I don't get it. What? Okay.
Oh, there's Stoic. I'm sure you guys are noticing a trend about the sort of animated man that I weirdly sexualize in these
What
videos.
Did you say?
Siri, do I have a daddy issue? You don't even own an iPhone. Anyway, shortly after this announcement, we came to find out that Hollywood was doing what Hollywood does best. And it became clear that—
Astrid, my girl boss. Oh my god, I love her so much. I mean, she's a very nice written character, guys. Basically a strong woman that, you know, can show off her soft side as well. Just saying, strong girl boss doesn't mean you can't show off your soft side, guys, okay? She hate dragon, right? She fight them, but when— oh my god, shit, I can't remember his name. When he explained to her, get along with dragon, she actually accept that. Hiccup, you're right, Hiccup. I was gonna say, is that his name again? Hiccup, right? Very meme name.
One of the main characters was set to be race swapped. The blonde-haired, fair-skinned female lead, Astrid, Rather than finding someone who looks like the original leading lady, they instead cast Nico Parker, who I've mentioned previously in other videos, and this wasn't the first time that she was erasing a blonde-haired, pale-skinned cutie patootie. I unironically think this is a terrible thing to be known for. I don't even think that Nico Parker is a bad actress. It's just that every time I come across her, it's in this context. Why? Obviously,
why?
all of this went down about as well as you'd imagine. And the response to this criticism was the same as it always is. Stop being a bunch of sexist, racist, far-right bigots. I mean, God forbid that we ask Hollywood to just have characters look how they originally looked. How terrible of us to find issue with that. I feel like they're gone. I feel like I did it. Oh my god, I think I inhaled correctly.
Hiccup,
Wait.
yeah.
Oh no, there they are. Having the hiccups is incredibly annoying, and actually there are a lot of other things that are much more annoying that you probably have that you'd like to fix, like debt, which is why today's video is sponsored by PDS Debt. After the initial blow up, this whole situation basically just faded into the background because I think a lot of people have made peace with the fact that Hollywood studios
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to this news at all. Like, I didn't know she got the race swap.
milking
What?
existing animated films.
Because
And
if it happens so frequently, we are numb by this. By now, more like
keep churning out their terrible live-action remakes. Also, additionally, I don't think that there was enough drama around this particular remake for people to really get their knickers in a knot too much. Although I'm not sure what's considered live action about a film that's still majority animated. Maybe I'm missing something here, maybe I'm not the target audience, I don't know. But in my travels of the internet, I came across the newly released How to Train Your Dragon trailer, which gave us a better look at the cast. I'm sure editing Sydney is gonna show you some of this.
Yes. I've killed hundreds of us.
Editing Sydney just added a bunch of stoic clips, didn't she? Then, in a strange turn of events, I happened upon a
not everyone needs to be white. How to Train Your Dragon's live-action casting and law change unpacked by director after Astrid backlash. Not everyone needs to be white. But the character is white, so are you racist?
Screen Rant article headlined, "Not everyone needs to be white. How to Train Your Dragon's live-action casting and lore change unpacked by director after Astrid backlash." And obviously, just based on this headline, it really irritated me. I was very annoyed. This crap is why NASA have found an asteroid that's probably gonna hit us in like 8 years. The article relayed an interview that took place with the film's director, Dean DeBlois. DeBlois. That's how he pronounces it. DeBlois. This is... In speaking about the race swap of our blonde-haired, pale-skinned Astrid, he said that Nico Parker's casting was about her performance and not her appearance. He said, people who are online who are complaining she's not blonde enough or white enough, just wait till they see the performance. The performance tells me everything I need to know. It's also an expanded mythology, so not everyone needs to be white in this community. They are a gathering of warriors from all these different places under the same Viking banner. Well, I do hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but if they're Vikings, then yeah, they probably do all need to be white. What's that? He's doing an ancient multiculturalism. Okay, I see. If I hiccup one more time, I am going to freak out.
But the main guy character is Hiccup.
DeBlois basically goes on to describe how, in the remake, they've created a multicultural world, suggesting that because the warriors come from different places, they're now all mixed in together, saying that's all sort of nonsense surrounding the diverse casting. I just discount it. They don't know what they don't know. Once you see the movie,
in history mostly white. Yeah, is that it? I wonder. Yeah, that's why I'm like questioning. But the thing is, right, guys, I wonder why most of the race swap is woman character, you know, female. Why not the man lead, the guy? Why woman character? It's like a question for me. I know, like, of course, there's like man character race swap, but most of them are woman. Woman and redhead for some reason, right? Little Mermaid, you know. red hair. For some reason, I wonder if that's like a formula or something in Hollywood.
Answer themselves. Yeah, this is another case where the director or whoever's working on this
Sorry,
movie
guys.
is like, no, it's your fault, bigots. You did this to yourselves by being bigoted. Personally, my favorite part of this interview is when our friend here alludes to the absolutely incorrect assessment that Vikings were a multicultural society because they did a lot of traveling. And something this somehow justifies
Without
Astrid being
proper
non-white. The Screen Rant article also
history?
attempts to justify the logic here,
Okay.
writing, while Astrid's race should not matter at all in this fantasy world, it is interesting to hear Debois talk about how her non-white race could be historically based. This is due to the Vikings traveling via the Silk Road, which expanded to places including North Africa. This makes me want to rip my hair out.
What film?
How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh.
I have had the hiccups this entire... I'm having such a bad time.
You should do a little quick edit of all your little hiccups.
Bruh, it's terrible. So naturally, I obviously have a lot of opinions about this, and with that said as well, I am trying to be cognizant of the fact that this is a film for children and maybe it's not that deep, but I think because of how frequently Hollywood does this sort of thing, and actually now that I'm saying it out loud and kind of working through it, I feel like there's definitely an agenda to it because they do it a lot in children's movies, so, you know, do with that information what you will.
You mean they're trying to brainwash?
Personally find this really
The new
frustrating
generation of
and
the children?
annoying, especially when you consider the words of the director that we were just discussing. But I think I've adequately determined the reasons
It's gonna be
why
interesting if they
this
do
is
that.
so annoying. Firstly, and I think this is important and I would like to get it out of the way early on, I do actually agree with the sentiment that a made-up, non-historic kids movie is allowed to take certain liberties with ideas and representations and what have you. Obviously. Dragons aren't real. I know, that's a shocking statement.
Wait, it's a
Vikings
live
don't
action?
have American and
Toothless is so cute here. What?
Scottish accents. This is fully a fantasy world, and as such, not everything needs to be historically accurate.
love
This was the
Toothless.
same argument, more or less, made by the creators of God of War Ragnarok when they race-swapped the giantess Angrboda and made her black for some reason. Also, can I just say, how
Wait, is
much
the new
I
game?
hate that this is the first image that pops up when you search this person from Norse mythology. Like, what are we doing here, Google? What are you doing here? Point being, I understand the
Wait, really? I didn't even know.
argument being made here about fantasy, and I will
Oh, it's
give it to
fantasy,
these
not
people
real.
to an extent. Where I draw a very, very hard line in the sand comes from
Yeah, I
two
didn't even know
places.
this.
Number one, if you are recreating something
character,
that already exists with pre-established characters and a pre-established storyline, and you randomly decide to take leave of those factors, you're not doing it because the world is fantasy and you suddenly have greater creativity available to you. You're doing it for activism points, especially when the world, the mythology that you're trying to represent is actually based on a real-life culture celebrated by a real-life group of people. One that involved a lot of white Europeans. Yes, I know that statement makes some people cry. The creators aren't merely adapting
You
one
can't say that. What? It's fantasy. Not everyone have to be white.
film to another.
that's so funny.
These characters are not theirs to change and reinvent. If
It's
the people
fantasy, right? It's not, it's not real. Then why do you do that? Why?
creating this film so desired to do their own thing, then they should make a new movie, not attempt to adapt an existing one. I am of the opinion that if you are recreating someone that already exists, a character that already exists, then the objective is to stay as true to that character's original form as possible, which means casting people who actually look like the character. Why does everybody in this film look more or less exactly the same, except this one blonde-haired, pale-skinned lady?
True.
Why is
The
that?
Hiccup actor looks like Hiccup. Just saying. Not exactly alike, but you know, he got the characteristic.
They've even gone to the effort of making the
So he
main
they can
dragon
do it
here
more
look
like.
exactly the same, but the blonde girl is where they draw the line. Although, I mean, they also made this character randomly fat because I guess we needed some fat acceptance, some obesity representation. I don't know. Also, I come back to
Who's
ask,
that? Wait, is the girl maybe? Oh, wait a second. Wait, I don't think it's the guy, guys. Look at the hair. It's a girl. It's the twin. This girl, I think. Oh, it's the girl, the twin, right? The guy. So the girl, this girl. Why? Yeah, the twin girl that make her fat. Why again? Why girl? Why the girl? Eh? Sorry, but I'm not fat shaming. I'm just questioning. Like, what about teen size girl? Like, is teen size girl a bad thing now? You know? Why so specific? Eric, one of the character looks like the cartoon version, but these two they have to change it. Do you hate woman? Actually, you hate white woman and teen woman now. Is that how it is? Well, Hollywood, huh?
also, I come back to
So
asking,
weird.
what exactly is live action about this? Why are we remaking something that didn't need to be remade? It's only 10 years old. And unfortunately, dragons still don't exist. I genuinely don't mean to be unkind here and nitpicky, but I mean, if you're making a live action remake, doesn't that speak to the
I mean,
fact
she's not nitpicking. It's Hollywood that nitpicking, you know? Changing the only two main character so much.
that the people and the places and the things are real?
What kind
I
of
mean, what's the
message they are
point in
sending to
remaking
the
a movie that's
society, I
still,
wonder.
Like 90% CGI. I feel like I'm missing something here. Anyway, we are talking about a film that, based on its trailer, is seemingly going to be a shot-for-shot remake. They cared enough to stay true to all of these factors, giving us dragons that look like the originals, characters who more or less look the same. They haven't attempted to expand the world in any other way or add to the story in any other way, beyond just saying, oh, the Vikings traveled a whole heap, they met brown people, that means that Vikings must have had a multicultural society. Wrong. They didn't. I think I'm gonna put here that you sit on a throne of lies statement, because that is accurate. That's how I feel when I listen to and read this crap. Stop lying about history, please. Stop it. Stop it. There's no justification. I hate this. I hate it here. Please just eat sand and turn into a golem and then cease existing. Anyway, this brings me to my second point. Although the world where this story is set is made up, and it isn't necessarily built around any specific Nordic folklore or mythology, it is still entirely based around a group of people who really existed. And when we find out that a story is based around a particular real-life culture, we are primed then to expect certain things, including the way the people represented look. Even if the story surrounding the people is fictional, if we know the story is about Vikings, we expect to see white people. Because the Vikings
Yeah,
were
imagine
white
like Mulan, the manga character that cast a black woman. Ooh. They can't go there, right? Because Asian is minority people in America, so that's gonna be bad. That's why they didn't do it. But I bet they would want to do it. Yeah, they would definitely do it if they can do it. Ooh,
Europeans.
come on.
And today they
Don't do
mostly
that.
still
Don't go
are,
there, bruh.
because they're they're like near
it's
where the snow
bad.
is, and they are pale. They're pale people to blend in, so they don't get eaten by polar bears. Maybe. I don't know. If we were being told a
Ubisoft did
similarly
it.
fictional story,
Yeah,
but
of
it was
course.
set
You know,
in
like I say, if they can do it, they'll definitely do it.
ancient China, I would not expect to see Europeans or Africans running around. It's crazy, but I expect to see Chinese people. And I won't lie, I think it's a little alarming that this expectation suddenly changes when it concerns a European culture. Once again, I find it extremely ironic that effort has been put into giving us a gimmicky version of Vikings. We have their long houses, their clothing,
A white person as a Black Panther. They don't have an edit. They have a meme for that, no? What the fuck? Leak photo of next Black Panther. I think it's a meme. Oh my god, yeah. What the fuck? And there's a lot of people get triggered from this, guys. Yeah. Oh my god, no way. Come on. Chill. Ugh.
their hairstyles, obviously within the context of a kid's film, but their skin color, arguably one of the most distinctive parts of these people, is where Hollywood draws the line. Now, I know that some of you think I'm being a little bit dramatic with relation to this specific issue and the frequency at which it's happening and yada yada, and I also know that you're not, gonna fully embrace the road that I'm about to take you down, but hear me out. I have long been of the opinion that there is a concerted attempt in media and entertainment to undermine and destroy European cultures and their various representations on screen. And I think that we've been seeing this a lot for a very long period of time. Like I mentioned earlier, recently you had Angra who was race swapped, Anne Boleyn was race swapped, Jarl Hacken, I think that said Jarl. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I'm sorry I butcher every name.
What movie is this? Sorry,
anyway,
guys.
Jarl Hacken was race and sex swapped because they decided to get creative there.
Swapped too?
And these are just a handful that I remember off the top of my head because there's been so many. I don't want to list them all. I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating because I am nothing if not a broken record. European cultures have their own rich histories, folklore, myths, stories, appearances, and so on. And those things deserve to be accurately and fairly represented in film and television,
so
at least
man
to
woman.
a very decent extent. And I personally find it absolutely absurd that Western media outfits are so comfortable undermining centuries-old cultures simply because they're trying to meet Californian sensibilities, which honestly we should just put in the bin at this point. The activist class is routinely upset when they believe that something has been whitewashed. So again, I ask the question, how is it any less culturally insensitive when, say, Angra shows up having been blackwashed? Or when everyone acts like there is inherent racism in ancient Norse culture because everybody is too white. Obviously, there are so many other components to this conversation that I'm not going to get into in this video, partially because I've covered a lot of them in previous videos that I've made on my channel. And the other component here that's just worth me saying, just so that you guys know, if you read the Screen Rant article, you will find that there are other things that the director said that are definitely worth getting into, but again, we just simply don't have time here. I think the bottom line for me is that it's perfectly fine to create entertainment that's based in fantasy, that's fun to watch, and that has new and fun and exciting ideas in it, where different races can come together and be seen on screen together in a way that makes sense and doesn't cause people to freak out. The fantasy and the creativity, that's not the issue here. Obviously, I can only speak for myself when it comes to this, but I dare say that there is a large portion of you who likely align with my sentiments here. So the best way that I can describe this is that I feel quite put out by the fact that there is so little respect for European cultures in entertainment and media. There seems to be this odd and pretty horrible concerted attempt to...
It's like because they are white, so we can do this. Basically, guys, the whole message is because they are white, so we can get away with this, and we can do this. Basically, disrespectful to them. Right, yeah. It's just so mind-blowing.
Cultures that either currently exist or used to exist, like the Vikings. And it's sort of weird to consider the fact that we're living through this odd period of historical revisionism in media where certain activist types are very, very intent on pretending that certain features of these cultures didn't actually take place, namely that they were ethnically homogenous groups of people. In the end, imagination is great, and creating new and fun stories is great, but I am personally never going to get behind this bizarre Hollywood trend of erasing light-skinned people from their own cultures and mythologies. Now, on that happy and pleasant note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder to check out PDS Debt using the link in the description. Go and check them out for your free analysis. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you think that this type of thing is totally nuts and unnecessary? Do you think that I'm kind of, off my rocker on this one and this is not really that big of a deal? It's really not that deep and it just kind of is what it is. Do you think that
I mean,
Hollywood
that's
is
your
making a
culture, so of course you gotta be mad. I get it. If they do that to Mulan, ooh.
weird concerted attempt to push white people out of their own cultures and mythologies and whatnot. Do you think that it's right? Do you think that
I
it's
think
wrong?
they're
Do you
gone
think
woke with Mulan, but the line is that they already swap her, guys. That's
we
gonna be
should
so
be
funny.
inclusive, that we should include all sorts of people who look all sorts of ways in all kinds of stories, even if it doesn't make any sense. And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you are not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I do like hearing your feedback. Of course, happiest Valentine's Day to you all. I hope it was a really, really wonderful day. And as per usual, I will see you wonderful, pretty people in the next video.
Hey, thank you. Oh, now what the fuck is this? Another of a video? What is that screen? I didn't expect that. What the fuck? Chill. I was gonna like her video. What is that screeching scream? Yeah, okay, I like the video. Oh my god. Yeah, what the fuck was that? Oh my god. It's a video, yeah, influencer. I'll play. Okay, next time. I fully realized the irony of me having hiccups this entire video, and the main character how to turn a dragon being named Hiccup. Yeah, yeah. That was so funny. That's cute.